Hey, you guys, remember that we're working on theme this week. So we're going to be reading a story called Enemy or Ally. It's going to incorporate some of those vocabulary words that we just learned. And you're also going to be able to put that lesson about theme into use with your Nearpod. You'll be able to answer some questions as we read. So there are 3 chapters. I'm going to read them one at a time, and then you're going to have the opportunity to answer a question. So remember that theme is a lesson about life. What does the author want you to learn about life? What message are they trying to give you? Something that is universal, or that there can also be more than one theme. So just really look for what lesson are you learning as we read Enemy or Ally. One of the first questions that I want you to focus on are, what must Adam and Toby, 2 characters in the story, what must Adam and Toby do to work together? Okay, so here we go. Chapter 1, Curiously Different. You're going to work in pairs for this project, says Miss Tyler. Adam groaned. He hated working in pairs because he always ended up with a terrible partner. I want you to find a unique way of showing what we have learned about the similarities and differences between plants and animals, the teacher continued. I'll give you time to work on it during the week. On Friday, you'll present your work to the class. Mrs. Tyler had already placed everyone with a partner. She began reading the list. When Adam heard his partner was Toby, he rolled his eyes and slumped in his seat. How could she do that, he thought, just because our last names both start with A. Adam Anderson and Toby Andrews were in the 5th grade at Woodlands West Elementary School. They lived on the same street, and they had been in the same class every year since kindergarten. They had never spent much time together, though. They just had totally different personalities and nothing in common. Adam had always been curious about electricity. He had liked tinkering with wires, batteries, lamps, and motors ever since he was little. His grandfather was an engineer, and Adam wanted to be one too. Toby was curious too, but he was an artist. He was good at picturing things in his mind, and then creating fantastic paintings or sculptures of his ideas. He had been able to do precise and complicated drawings ever since he was very young. When the 2 boys walked into their classroom each day, they barely gave each other a second glance. Adam thought, we have different friends, totally different interests, and even desks on different sides of the classroom. What is there for us to talk about anyway? Sometimes Adam did notice Toby when Toby was focused on some artistic part of a class project. Everyone was into art projects when they were in kindergarten, he thought. I wonder why Toby has never grown out of it. Toby felt the same way about Adam, hardly ever noticing him or what he did. Once in a while, Toby saw Adam sitting in the shade and reading during recess while everyone else ran around. He wondered why Adam spent his free time reading about electromagnets and stuff he could never do something more active instead. No wonder he had so few friends, thought Toby. After Mrs. Tyler finished assigning partners for the project, there were a few minutes of chaos as everyone rearranged themselves to sit with their partners. Only Toby and Adam did not move from their seats. It was as if they were pretending they had not heard Mrs. Tyler's announcement. If I had to be paired up with anyone in the class, thought Adam, why can't it be Lucy Donovan? At least she knows one end of a battery from the other. Finally, though, the boys could not delay any longer. They met at 2 empty desks in the middle of the room. There was a steady hum in the classroom as the other students discussed their projects, but there was only a strained silence between Adam and Toby. They were both wondering where to start. At last, Adam said, let's create something that uses electricity. What does electricity have to do with plants and animals? Asked Toby. We need pictures or models, not gadgets. The way he said the words made them sound as if he were taunting Adam. I said we could use electricity, hissed Adam. Mrs. Tyler said we had to find something unique. What's unique about drawing pictures? Mrs. Tyler came over to intervene. Both of them were able to rattle off the differences between plants and animals, But when she asked about how they were going to present the information, they fell silent. Well, said Mrs. Tyler, you both know the topic well. Now you just have to come up with a way to present it. That means you'll have to cooperate and compromise. Do you think you can manage that? Adam and Toby nodded, but when they went back to discussing it again, their ideas still collided. By the end of the morning, they had not agreed on a single thing. Okay, that's the end of chapter 1. And remember, the question that I want you to focus on is, what must Adam and Toby do to work together? So think about the difficulties that they started to face in this first chapter. What are they expected to do, and what must they do to work together?